Welcome to our latest episode of the Lebanese Physicians Podcast. واليوم we're going to talk about how to take care of yourself and how to improve your quality of life. And our guest today, Muhammad Ali Jardali, is Joumana Mansour, who's actually established a journey of you that was her brainchild. She's a certified personal growth and wellness specialist. She's lived in the US for a long period of time, and now she's in Lebanon and has been all over Lebanon and the Arab world at this point, and just wrote a new book and in English. And that's why our episode today will be both Arabic and English. اسمه Be Your Own Coach أو كن مدرب نفسك. Joumana, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm really excited to be with you, مع محمد ومعك خليل. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Joumana, thank you for being here. كنت بدي أسألك, so basically just tell us about your history and how you established a journey of you, or then how you got into book writing after that.
Yes. Actually, my best teacher, as I always say, is the pain that I went through. I left to the US in 1995, and it wasn't an easy journey at all. And I stayed there 17 years. So I have two beautiful children. I have a 28 years old son who recently got engaged, and a 26 years old daughter who's getting engaged and married in December. So I'm going to the States again. So I'm really, thank you. So because of the pain that I went through, I decided to work on myself when I was in the US. Honestly, Khalil, ما في حدا بهالعالم doesn't have a story. Everybody, whether you're a physician, you're a nurse, you're a mom, you're a dad, Lebanese, they left their country, they went abroad. So 17 سنة بالغربة wasn't easy at all. Or many other things that I went through. Maybe we get that, we talk about it like in different episodes, because maybe I need like 10 hours to talk about it. Because sometimes people look at me saying like, oh, you have stress? Yes, I do. No one has a perfect life. بس شو الفرق بين الشخص والآخر? One works on themselves and another decides to just stay a victim. So I decided not to be a victim because I played the victim for a very long time. And this is how I started my journey. Then I started working in personal growth around 15 years ago. I've been doing this for 15 years. And 4 or 5 years ago, I decided to do something different. So I went to investors and the investor of the platform that AUB uses, LAU, I don't know if LAU, but many other known university, they use Moodle. Moodle is a platform. Then we decided to do that course on Moodle to reach as many people as we can. For example, a physician in Lebanon could take the course, a nurse in UAE could take the course, a mother in the US could take the course all at the same time. Because humanly, I can't reach so many. So this is how I created the Joy, and this is how I became the founder of Joy. So I wrote 2 books. The first one was in 2019. I published it, but it was an academic book. It's called A Journey to Personal Growth. And this is the book that I taught medical students at the American University of Beirut. And it was a mandatory course for them, especially Med 1 and Med 2.
Oh, if you can tell us a little bit more, how was the transition from working in an academic center, working with like a certain type of people? وهلا, from what I understood with Moodle, you opened up to anyone in the world. قبل كنت confined by one place, one type of people. وهلا خلاص, it's for everyone.
صح 100%. That's why we created those 11, because each stress is different. So the core of all the programs, we have 11 programs. The core is Be Your Own Coach, because I believe anyone existing in this dimension has to be their own coaches, had to begin with. Then we go to the specialty, a physician, a nurse, corporate, medical student. So I could tell you a little bit what the programs we have. So we have for physicians, nurses, university students, medical students, educators, embassy staff, because I worked with the British Embassy 3 years, flight crew, which is very new. And we have for it's also, but this is still in progress, Be Your Own Coach. And we have another program, but not for everybody, called Joy CC, Joy Certified Coaches. It's a very intensive 1-year program. This is only for people who wants to be certified, because we want, more of me helping me in the future, because I'm planning to work 10 more years and then that's it. I'll reach 60 almost, I'm almost 50, so I'll reach 60 in 10 years. So you don't want me to work another 50 years. So that's why we created all these programs so we could really go to the market from all aspects, because I believe every person has the ability to grow. I don't believe in limitations at all.
Amazing, amazing. And it's really good that you started with medical students, because I think classically physicians are trained to suppress our emotions and to stay composed and serious, bottle everything in. So this is like a very new trend that we're seeing in terms of wellness, and start young to change that mindset. Can you share with us maybe like some breakthroughs you've seen from the emotional side, specifically with medical students and physicians?
Yes, actually, there's one story. I have so many stories, but one of them, I was training some medical students, and I overheard one of them saying, "I wish I saw you before." He was a med 3. And when he said that, I asked everybody to leave, and I sat with him alone. So he looked at me with, tears in his eyes, and he said, "I called the hotline yesterday." I said, "What do you mean?" He's like, "I thought about suicide." And now he's a physician, went to the US, finished his residency, his fellowship, got married, and he's great. So imagine with such a course and guidance step by step, what you can do to a person who's becoming a physician. Especially those young people, they need the support. They need the guidance, because they don't have guidance in this, not always. And even the physician, even the attending, doesn't have, will she the training, then is she the time or the energy to guide them through mental health also. So we need like a very well-structured program for those medical students. When they become physicians, they become healthy physicians. Actually, I have another one. I started with her pre-med. Now she's finishing her last year of residency. Also, she's amazing. She wanted to quit, and we started together. Now she is almost teaching a JOY program for medical students. She changed the name of, instead of saying exam, because she used to have panic attacks, she calls it like a knowledge event. So she would put her makeup on, wear her high heels, and go to the knowledge event. And she's top student now. So I have so many stories. I can't finish with the stories. But I'll tell you, with physicians, it's a little bit harder because they already reached. So I'm not saying all physicians, but sometimes the ego and the culture doesn't allow physicians to express their emotions of I'm sad, or I can't, or I'm overwhelmed.
Right. And بتشوفي كتير and not only physicians, but physicians are a major one actually. But some of the highest suicide rates are in physicians, and I've seen, and I've been taught in medical schools بلبنان وبرات لبنان, and I've seen medical students commit suicide actually before.
Yes. Medical students كتير.
Right.
Yes.
ومثل ما بتقولي, they suppress their emotions
yes.
a lot of times until like things get out of control. So what does your course, what do you provide them in the course to help them overcome this?
Yes, I'll tell you. But before I tell you that, I'm going to tell you little physicians are different a little bit. The problem with physicians is the expectations of others on the physician. So they look at the physician because they study too much, so many years, so many trainings. And I hear even mothers telling, my ex-husband is a physician. So I lived with him since he was in residency, so I understand. And I also studied nursing, so I was his nurse. So I understand the pain that he went through, poor thing. With the calls and the moonlighting, it's really hard. But the expectations of people on a physician, they look at him as the healer. As he doesn't get ill, he doesn't have emotions, he has to be strong all the time. And that's a big part of the stress for the physician. He's a normal human being. He gets angry. He gets ill. I have people like, I would hear people saying like, "Doctor, you're ill?" Yes, he gets ill. So people expectation of a physician is too much. And so with time, what happens with the physician, so to answer your question, Khalil, they would have no emotional boundaries at all. So either when they're fresh graduates, they get too involved emotionally. When they get too much pain and they start having like a cynical approach to work, then they go to apathy. So either I'm too involved or I'm not involved at all. So I would hear some patients saying, شو هالحكيم ما بحس فيي عم بقلي فحوصاتي وعم بقلي إني معي كانسر بس ما عم بحس, because he reached the apathy. So we don't want sympathy, we don't want apathy. What we want is empathy, and that's what the program will teach them, empathy. Deal? Is it a little bit clear?
Yes. Ahmed,
I will tell you how.
Go ahead, please.
Okay.
بس بشيل أحوله في شهوة. They tell me how. I think you're right, and I think empathy, emotional intelligence actually are becoming like the leading things people need to have at this point to be able to be successful in life.
Yes. مظبوط خليل. بس تعرف شو؟ It's a little bit overrated emotional intelligence. هقول لك شو قصدي. بألف الكتاب there's one chapter emotional intelligence. But I don't need to pay $10,000 for a course to teach me how to understand my emotions. So in my book, the chapter of emotional intelligence, I will teach the audience how to use certain very simple tools to understand their emotions. لأنه what is the definition of emotional intelligence? Is understanding and managing my emotions. أول شيء. For me to understand and manage others. Okay? بس وين المشكلة for them to understand that my emotions are not, your emotions are not mine. And this is when people become sympathetic, boom بيغرقوا. يعني الشفقة. يعني حاعطيك example. I see a client, they tell me a story, very sad story, whatever, all right? So if I fall into their emotions, I can't help them. يعني if you want, imagine someone is drowning. I jump to rescue them. Remember the word rescue. I fall with them. I drown with them. Not possible. الأباثيك بيطلع فيه عم يغرق ما بيعمل شيء. That's also not good. What we really need to do is actually to give a hand. I am here if you need me, but the patient himself or the person himself needs to do his part also. لأنه في two responsibilities, you and your patient. Is it making sense? And this is what we call empathy, التعاطف. And that's the key to emotional intelligence and to success.
I guess, يعني, what you're saying is when physicians in particular, and how we're focusing on physicians because that's who our listeners are mostly. But and when they're over sympathetic, it's part of the reason of the burnout, and it's just not sustainable. But this is one of the core causes of burnout. So if we learn the tools how to manage that, it will help with burnout. But a lot of it with burnout, بيروحوا إنه pizza party. We have to take online course, إجباري, mandatory. So with your course, it's a little bit different, ما هيك?
Yes. I'll tell you, low emotional boundaries is one. P 6 kind of boundaries. We're not going to go through this now, but in my book, I go about like understanding what are boundaries. So low emotional boundaries, lack of time management, and the lack of time management, unfortunately, leads to high stress. لأنه ما في عندي وقت لأنه. ليه؟ Lack of time management will not allow me to have any self-care. Right? And when I don't have self-care, then I'm going to get angry. I'm going to get sad, I'm going to get angry, and specifically angry. And we're going to talk a little bit about the victim trap. But I also want to mention, I don't know if you know, in 1927, do you know Dr. Francis Peabody? He came up with the idea that the secret of the care of the patient is in caring for the patient. Deal? He's a very well American physician. Then 89 years later, بيعملوا بمايو Clinic another study, and they come up with the secret of the care of the doctor is in caring for the doctor. Then in 2017, because of the experience that I had, I believe that the secret to take care of the patient is to take care of the physician. Now, how? Since we know that the physician has no self-care, we know that he has lack of emotional boundaries, and we know that because of these two, the physician gets on a state of halt. HALT. Hungry, angry, lonely, and tired. You see Dr. Jordan عم يضحك.
Been there.
He feels it being there, of course.
Right.
لما حدا بيصير عنده halt, then they want to numb. It's too much emotions, too many emotions. How do they numb? Food, drugs, alcohol, unhealthy sexual relationship, binge watching, binge shopping. You see a physician buying like 5 cars or something, but he's not really happy. But he's working to buy like 5 Ferraris for what? هذا أيام زمان كان يقدر الفيزيشن بأمريكا هلا
خلاص.
هلا ما كتير. But honestly they do what they need to do to numb. بس numbing تعرفوا بتروح السكرة وبتجي الفكرة بصير بيوجع أكتر until he gets to burn out. Then بصير cynical. We don't want to get bad. Right? So what's the solution? Is أول شيء to understand what's happening and to acknowledge. And sometimes على بيقول أنا كتير منيح. Denial, you know? This reminds me of me when I went to my therapist. I was 23. I walked in to Jamie Houston. I remember I was in Chicago. I had no life, huh? No life. Divorced at a very young age. فرحت هيك قلت لها well do I need a session with you? أنت عطتني ورقة مسكرة. قالت لي please don't read it until you leave my office. I said okay. رحت I bought my coffee. كنت عم بدرس. يمكن بعدني عم بدرس وقتها. طلعت هيك مكتوب عليها the definition of denial. I went back to her crying. I said بدك سنة سنتين 10 25. Till now I still have my mentor. My mentor's name is Holly Harris. I still see her every month to work on myself and to make sure that I am progressing every single day. So denial هي مشكلة. Once we remove the denial, then we start understanding when بدنا نشتغل. Make sense?
100%. And I think we've all passed it. فينا نحكي فيها يعني إنه we've all passed through this at some point in our lives, and I've reached a point هلا where I know what's important in life, and so I've reached a point where I feel like I'm happy, I'm satisfied, instead of when I've passed through a period of مثل عم تقولي burnout, stuff like that for a while before.
Yes, absolutely. And you know what? I feel the strength in saying and acknowledging I have been through it and I know how you feel versus أنا على راسي ما بعرف شو إنه أنا أنا كتير منيحة. No, I've been through hell. وإلا ليه قاعدة معك؟ ليه أصلاً عم بسمعك؟ مين أنا لأسمعك إذا أنا I didn't go through hell? That's the problem. I'm not on a pedestal. I went through a lot. And that's why I understand when a client comes to me and tell me, I'm having a panic attack. I'm like, I've been there. And you know, a big part of the training that I do, codependency. Have you heard of codependency? Codependency is different than dependency. Have you heard about the victim trap? I think the audience would really love to hear. I'm going to just take a couple minutes about codependency. So when a physician is a rescuer, he's codependent. Codependency is an ability to say no, people pleaser, seeking approval, fear of abandonment, okay? So when people are codependent, they fall into a trap. هذا trap اسمه the victim trap. So either they play the victim, it's a triangle, or rescuers or persecutors. So they are rescuing physicians, they are rescuing. كل يوم he's rescuing. بيجي على البيت عنده halt, hungry, angry, lonely, and tired. Then he feels like a victim. بقول ما بقى بدي هالشغلة. بيتعب. شو بينتقل؟ بيصير persecutor. آخر همله شو بيصير؟ Then بيصير apathetic. Then he feels guilty. He comes back to rescuing who he persecuted. Then he feels like a victim again. And it's a triangle. With the patient, with the family, with the wife, with the friend, with the daughter, with the son, unfortunately with everybody. It's a trap. Now, how to get out of it is the minute you say, I don't want to be the victim, neither the rescuer, neither the persecutor. I want to be in control of my life. So what do I need right now to regain my power? What's something I need to do for me? And how much do I love me? 0 to 10. 0, I don't love me. 10, I love me. And if yes, how do I show it?
Right.
This is some good stuff, Joumana. And this
Yeah.
is very deep.
Yes.
But I want to backtrack a little bit. You mentioned that you had a coach.
Yes.
I
I had
think
a therapist also.
كمان
And a mentor.
But the idea of coaching
Yes.
in medicine is underutilized. Atul Gawande talks a lot about it. He was the guy who talked about the checklist manifesto. So
Yes.
he was the surgeon who brought you know how like in pilots, like they have a checklist before they fly.
Yes.
So he brought that concept from aviation into medicine, into the OR. Well, he's trying to
Yes.
bring the same concept of coaching. He says like the best NBA players or NFL players have a coach even at the top of their career. They have someone with them every day
Yes.
coaching them. We don't have that
Yes.
in medicine.
Yeah.
I
That's
just
why
wanted to
we don't
highlight
have
that a
it.
little bit.
We don't have it in medicine, especially in the MENA region, لأنه اجت فترة صيت الcoaches was tough. يعني أنا when I went to AUB, I had this issue because they didn't understand what I'm doing. I was the first and only. And then when I brought coaching and personal growth, قالوا شو يعني؟ So كنت على طول أقول, and I like the audience to know, شو الفرق بين الكوتش والثيرابيست? What I do. Coach, therapist, psychiatrist, what I do. Okay? Because I do a little bit different than coaching. So إذا أجا client لعندي, and we call them clients, we don't call them patients, with disorder. عنده GAD, عنده مثلا schizophrenia, bipolarity, I refer this person to a psychiatrist because the patient might need medications. Now, the psychiatrist will refer them to a therapist if they are going under a big trauma. Now, the coach شو بيعمل؟ بقول today is the present. We need to work from the present to the future. Mostly therapy goes back to the past. Now, therapists in the US, in order for them legally to continue with the patient, they have to do a coaching certificate to have the tools to move forward with the patient. وإلا بيكون البيشنت عم يروح مصاريه time and energy. كل شيء بيكلف time, money and energy. All right. Now, let's talk about personal growth, what I do with transpersonal. Because I studied transpersonal psychology, which is a holistic approach to mixed with modern psychology. That's why it has a slight spiritual approach with the modern psychology. That's why with my clients, we always start with mindful breathing. قبل كل شيء, mindful breathing. And the podcast, I will give the access to our free mobile app. Everybody could download the app. It's a free app. And they will listen to the guided breathing with my voice. So it's nice and easy, عربي وإنجليزي. Okay? Mindful breathing actually wakes the parasympathetic system to regulate the nervous system. So I suggest AM, PM to do that breathing. So to go back, the differences, so what I do basically go a little bit in the past and move to the future. So to work on purpose for the future, what to do now. We have an issue now what? So we're very realistic. But why do I go a little bit to the past? Because I believe also in therapy, with all the training that I did and all the experience that I had with my clients, if someone goes to therapy for years and they don't work with one thing that is called self-limiting belief, they will not benefit. شو يعني? Every story makes you create a belief system. يعني you had a bad marriage, let's say. بصير البelief, I'm not good enough. I'm not lucky enough to have a good relationship. I'm not worthy of love. All men are bad or all women are bad. هول معتقدات خاطئة. بجي أنا I take those معتقدات and I act based on these beliefs. Then ما بيمشي الحال. It's going to affect my actions, and those actions will not help me to reach my goals. And these actions, unfortunately, becomes a habitual action. شو يعني habitual? يعني شيء بعمله بدون ما أفكر. يعني in my subconscious brain, which is 90% of my brain. معناتها I'm living my life on automated. Now, with the sessions that we do and with the program, specifically the program for physicians, وفي كتير لأنه activities interactive really nice لأنه كمان it's based on animations. Then في interactive questions وفي discussion forum وفيهم يكونوا anonymous يعني ما ضروري يحطوا اسمهم. Then they will discover what are the habitual thoughts of or behaviors that are not helping the physician or any person to reach their goal. Then we change them on a conscious level for 40 days at least to create new habits. So I don't know if I answered the question إنه شو الفرق بين هاي وهاي وليه ما عنا إياها. Now, if you ask me, I believe every person needs a coach. بس a real coach, a good coach. يعني coach مخصص بشيء. مش يعني مثل ما في اختصاص بالميديسن في اختصاص بالكوتشنج. وحدة مثلا خاصة بس بالكارير كوتشنج بتساعد الأولاد المخرجين من المدرسة يقطفوا عند كارير. واحدة خاصة بس بالburn out of physicians and nurses and medical students, you know. So I believe لازم يكون في هيك. وهلا على فكرة بأمريكا وهيك في. They are hiring wellness coaches بالمستشفى for the students, بالuniversity, بالcorporations full time.
حتى part of the care team يعني بالسعودي model of care هلا each physician و nurse و case management و personal coach.
Yes.
يعني they're trying to incorporate that into the model of care. يعني حتى for patients أنا مثلا بقول لهم مثلا stop smoking أو lose weight, exercise, diet بس كيف؟ So بدهم حدا مثل هيك hold their hand, walk them through the system. They're integrating coaching into the model of care team. It's very fascinating صراحة.
Absolutely. لأن الفيزيشن ما بيقدر يعملها. يعني المشكلة محمد إنه يعني العالم ما في يعني بدهم يسمعوا من الدكتور إنه طب الدكتور عم بيقول له خذ هالميديكيشن خذ هالميديكيشن عندك بلاد بريشر عندك بقول له خي اعمل اكسرسايز وكل صحي بس هو اكسرسايز كل صحي it's a very big ask لهو قادر يعمل اكسرسايز وياكل صحي اصلا يمكن ما كان صار عنده high blood pressure. Do you know what I mean? So it's so important to really understand and be empathetic with the person or with the patient. اللي عم بقول لك دخيلك I don't know what to do, I don't want to die, but guide me through it. That's why رحلة ال1000 ميل بتبلش بميل. بس مين بده يمسك له ايده؟ انت ما فيك. It's not possible. تكون you're taking care of the medicine and the أدوية and the you know the OR or whatever depending on your specialty and to coach them through exercise و diet يعني it doesn't make sense.
ما هي
ولا بتصير burned out.
Yeah, I really think it's very important. And I learned it basically myself. Basically, maybe if I had a coach at the beginning, it would have been helpful. But what I advise, actually, I advise people, the younger physicians, most important for you is like keep an active social life, exercise, eat well, and learn to say no. Then at the beginning, every physician at the beginning, they always say, yes, we'll do this, we'll be in this committee, whatever.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and what I say for physicians and for other people too, is lawyer they won't accept to do a single thing without getting paid an hourly fee for it. Physician بيجي بتقول له اقعد هالكوميتي ببلاش، بيجي على 7:30 الصبح بيترك عائلته تيقعد الكوميتي at 7:30 in the morning. And for me now, I don't care about it. It's not going to advance me. It's not going to do anything to my life. I just say, no, I'm not doing it.
Yes.
I'm not interested in it. I'm not doing it anymore. So it's like...
Yes. تعرف خليل كان يقولوا زمان أعطي خبزك للخباز لو أكل نصه. إنه خلي كل واحد يعمل شغله حتى الفيزيشن يرتاح والكوتش يرتاح والسايكولوجيست يرتاح والسايكايترست يرتاح والستاف يرتاح. لأنه when you give what the hospital need يعني نحن مثلا when we go to a hospital we give 4 programs. واحدة للستاف اللي هو corporate wellness لأنه الستريس تبعهم مختلف عن ستريس تبع الدكتور. Then we give nurses لأنه النيرسز كمان ستريس تبعهم غير. and حتى النيرسز وقت ما كنت عم بشتغل كان كل نيرس عم تجي جديدة عم تاخد الأونلاين كورس بس ما كان هالقد حتى advanced يعني هلا it's more advanced on Moodle. then بنعطي الميديكال ستودنتس إذا عندهم program for medical students وبنعطي الفيزيشن. then اللي عملناه basically حوطنا كل اللي عم موجودين بالهوسبيتال to vibrate on a different level. to vibrate on a wellness level, self-care level. يعني بتصير الانرجي تبع المستشفى مختلفة. You know, I hope every hospital will do that.
But saying that, Ms. Zahid, it's a good segue. What hospitals are you involved in? بعرف إن you're involved بلبنان. What about outside of Lebanon? فيك تخبرينا, are you involved?
You know, هلا نحن عملنا joint venture hospital, بس هن part of the government. So يعني منهم just 2 weeks ago. So منهم will start going to universities, to hospitals, and so on. Okay. Now in Lebanon we have a couple hospitals. I can't say name until we sign. So once we sign, I'll let you know. But anyone who's listening to us and he cares about his staff, the physicians, the hospital, we are ready to go and give this support. إلا كيف simply we do it. بروح أنا personally in person بعمل introduction بتكون ساعتين ونص منا كتير. وكل حدا على قده، يعني بحط النيرسز لحالهم، physicians لحالهم، الميديكال ستودنتس لحالهم، ستاف لحالهم، حتى الجانيتورز اللي أنا عندي big respect، لأنه بدونهم كلنا بنفوت على المستشفى. So بجي أنا بحط كل واحد لحاله، بعطيهم 2 hours introduction. Then they go on Moodle. Our team, we have 25 people in the team minimum لحد هلا. So عندهم 24/7 support to take the Moodle course. Then what I also do Q&A monthly on Zoom. وين ما بطلع بلد والعالم فيها تفوت وتظهر امتى ما بدها. 3 hours. بفوتوا بيسألوا السؤال بيظهروا. بفوتوا بيسألوا السؤال بيظهروا. Just to make sure that everyone taking the course has the support. والحلو بالكورس إنه كله animations. So مش عنده كتير بيقرأ وبيجي من المستشفى وما له جلادة. Everything is animated and it is part of the CME credits during يعني the year اللي بياخد فيها and it's CPD accredited. يعني كل البروجرامات CPD accredited. CPD is continuing professional development in the UK. I'm sure you're aware of it.
Yes.
Amazing. So I want to ask you what's next for the journey of you and what's next for the book. I want to highlight the book a little bit more. يعني عنه هيك شوي بس بدي أعطيه.
Yes, I'm really excited about this book لأنه this book is for public. It's for everybody. So مثل ما قالت الكتاب اسمه Be Your Own Coach. So people could also follow me. إذا بحطوا Joumana Mansour على الانستغرام, they will find me. They have all the information where they could find the book. موجود بمالكس bookshop, موجود بالفيرجن, وقريبا hopefully Amazon UAE والسعودية, وحيكون موجود كمان بالUAE يعني physically. وبس نعمل book signing in December, I hope. Everybody is invited. يعني I would love to see everybody answer the questions and maybe, you know, take the book as a gift. We'll see, you know, when people come. لأنه حيكون في هيك طنبلة وقصص to make it fun. So the book basically is a journey من أول الكتاب لآخره with the 9 chapters. It's a journey. واحد بيوصل من A ل B as if he's doing his own therapy. As a HEST, he wants to go deeper. They will go to the Moodle and they will take the course in Moodle to go deeper into the information, which I highly suggest. And also the mobile app اسمها Joy Journal. بعدين إذا بتحب نحط كل اللينكات. It's a free app. Whatever they learn in the book or on Moodle, they could practice for free on the app. Okay? A button was WhatsApp. Any questions they have, we have like the support for anyone with any question they need, whether for Moodle or any questions they want. So I'm really excited about the book. So what's the plan for Journey of You? My dream is a ripple effect. My dream is to reach the world. You know, مرة my chairman said to me, بدون ما نقول أسماء, I adore her. She said, if I don't see that like actual stuff, like I see Moodle and I see the app and I see the book, I would think because you're thinking too big. And I am thinking too big. I want this to reach the universe. So I know with my partners to reach as many countries as I can, but specifically the MENA region, because we are the first and only program written by an Arab and in English and Arabic. So the website تبعنا journeyofyou.com is in English and Arabic. Moodle is in English and Arabic. كله. يعني حتى الفيديوهات English and Arabic. The mobile app is in English and Arabic. And of course الكتاب English and Arabic. So we don't want anyone to feel left out. So ما بقى في حجة الإنسان ما يشتغل على حاله. يعني مزبوط مثل ما قلت لهم امبارح سألوني بالبوك ستور أنا شو بدك تحطي على البانر. I said الحل بإيدك. So في الإنسان literally يعني this is the English and this is the عربي. الحل بإيدك. So إذا أنت ما بدك تعمل شيء then no one could help. مثل ما أنت بتعرف محمد إنه إذا أنت عندك non-compliant patient يعني أنت بتقول له هذا الدواء والله كتير منيح لإلك يا حبيبي بس إذا هم أخذوا أنت شو بتعمل؟ بس هلأ الحل بإيدهم وعملته بطريقة very very easy for it so to be reachable for everybody. لكل أم لكل بي لكل physician إن كان أم ولا عفوا إذا كل physician كانت يعني woman or man وعندها أولاد هيدا بيساعدها حتى كيف تربي أولاده. When she understands what codependency is and what victim trap is, she wouldn't do it with the kids. So it's a beautiful thing.
لا جوانا بهنيك يعني صراحة في نيد كتير كبيرة ما فينا نجيب الكتب اللي بأمريكا وأوروبا هيك copy paste ونشرحها هلا it needs to be localized. مثل ما قلتي يعني مهم يكون حدا من المنطقة فاهمين خصوصيتنا ولأن ما بنشبههم برا يعني عندنا خصوصية غير سو كتير مهم هالشي يكون localized منا وفينا
يعني. It's a different culture. يعني حتى التريننج تبع جوي سي سي جوي certified coach it's trademark بالدولة. We did it very different and I insisted to do it very different. حتى العالم اللي بيتخرجوا من جوي سي سي they become really like coaches on a high level. So we have also a pre-psych evaluation to make sure that the person taking the course they don't have any mental disorders and if they do they are being treated. وعملنا an abridged DSM-5 for them to حتى learn the most important not to diagnose at all but to learn to understand. يعني إذا كانت قاعدة مع client قال للclient I have GAD she understands it's general anxiety disorder بس في كتير عالم عم بيصيروا coaches بس مش عم يعرفوا الأمور اللي لازم يعرفوها. So that's why JOCC it's on a very different scale and it's also CPD accredited. So I hope we'll create many of the JOCC to make our dream come true. الله راد إن شاء الله.
إن شاء الله إن شاء الله. لا ما في يكون كل حدا هيك الكوتشنج تصير ترند يعني.
Exactly. يعني sometimes we do like an interview for يعني آخر interview عملته إجاني يمكن شي 20. We have 4. Only 4. نعمل mentoring sessions بيعملوا مع بعض. They have a case study to work on and they have 1 year to finish the case study. To see one client every week, to write the report, to do the case study, to study the abridged DSM-5, to do the pre-psych evaluation. يعني it's a lot. It's 280 hours. So it's not a joke.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Joumana, I want to thank you so much for being on the podcast, for highlighting your website, your app, and your book. Well, I think what we learn in the podcast here, whether physicians or other people, advocate for yourself. Make sure to tell people and acknowledge that you're stressed out or that things are not going well for you. Make sure to get a coach. Make sure to get help for sure.
Yes.
And then درب نفسك بعدين من بعدها. Get the coaching and help yourself.
Absolutely. And I just
الحل بإيدك.
الحل بإيدك. Exactly. في بس شغلة بدي أقولها. Anyone who's watching, if they decided to take the course, so we did something today, they could just like put the code L as in Lebanese Physicians Podcast, so LPP10, and they will take 10% of the online course for anyone who's a physician who's watching.
Excellent. LPP10 لكن.
Yes, LPP10. Or anyone needs anything, we are very happy to help and to support with that journey.
Thank you. Thank you, Joumana.
Pleasure. Thank you. Thank you so much.